During a live interview, the host posed a question to me. What would you do if you were not in the entertainment industry? I nonchalantly replied, I would return home to inherit a vast fortune. As soon as the words escaped my lips, I found myself trending on social media. Everyone was mocking me, a mere 18-line actress, for having such lofty aspirations. However, after stepping away from the limelight, I truly became a formidable tycoon behind the scenes of the entertainment world. In the live interview, Bai Zhi and I were featured together due to a television drama. We debuted around the same time, and after 5 years in the industry, I remained an unremarkable 18-line actress, while Bai Zhi had ascended to the pinnacle of stardom. Throughout the interview, the host's questions predominantly revolved around Bai Zhi, leaving me to sit idly by like a mere ornament. Yet, I had grown accustomed to this over the years. The comments flooding the screen were filled with support for Bai Zhi, with my occasional mentions serving only as fodder for ridicule. Debuting at the same time, yet one is soaring while the other is grounded. How can Xia Rao even dare to share the stage with Bai Zhi? Isn't she embarrassed? I heard Xia Rao once had a rumored fling with the Emperor of Film, Song. Laughable. How could the Emperor of Film possibly be with Xia Rao? It's clear she's just trying to stir up some gossip. Song and Bai Zhi are a perfect match. A perfect match. I couldn't help but smirk at the comments rolling through the live chat. Years ago, I had indeed dated Song Kai, but after he collaborated with Bai Zhi on a drama, I was unceremoniously cast aside. Throughout it all, I was never acknowledged by Song Kai, and now I often found myself the subject of derision, with people insinuating that I had pursued him, yet he had deemed me unworthy. Bai Zhi, if you were to exit the industry, what would you do? The host inquired. I suppose I would become a housewife. Bai Zhi hesitated momentarily before responding with a gentle smile. The comments erupted once more. Is Bai Zhi and the Emperor of Film about to announce something? I heard they've met each other's parents, and my ship must sail to the end, or I shall lose faith in love. Some people really ought to have self-awareness and know their place. The comments are suggesting that you and Song Kai might be heading towards something serious, the host teased. That's not true. There's been a misunderstanding, Bai Zhi quickly clarified. Although Kai and I are currently quite stable, our focus remains on work. If there's any good news in the future, we will be the first to inform everyone. Why do you have the desire to become a housewife then? The host pressed on. Because being a housewife is indeed a noble calling. My mother was a housewife, and I hold deep admiration for her. Without her, I wouldn't be who I am today. So if one day I truly step away from the industry, I would gladly return to family life. Bai Zhi's values are so commendable. Whoever marries her is truly fortunate. Bai Zhi hails from a wealthy family, and her upbringing is certainly different from the average person's. Just asking, is Bai Zhi from a well-off background? Do a quick search on the Bai family in Rongqing, and you'll find they rank among the wealthiest, if not the very top that I frowned. When did Bai Zhi's family become associated with the Bai family of Rongqing? At that moment, the host suddenly turned to me and asked, Xia Rao, if you were to leave the industry, what would you do? Perhaps sensing that I had been somewhat sidelined, he seemed to feel a twinge of guilt. I pondered for a moment before responding earnestly. I would return home to inherit a vast fortune. What? The host thought she had misheard me. She repeated her question. I just asked what you plan to do after leaving the industry. I will return home to take over the family business, I replied with an air of nonchalance. The 5-year term had come to an end. When I initially insisted on entering the entertainment industry, I had made a pact with my family. If I did not achieve any notable success within 5 years, I would have to return home to inherit the family enterprise. Just a few days ago, my wealthy father had called to remind me of this. May I boldly inquire what your family does that necessitates your return? The host asked with a hint of amusement, her tone laced with sarcasm. Bai Zhi, seated beside me, also flashed a fleeting smirk, though it quickly vanished. After all, this was a live broadcast, and in front of countless netizens, Bai Zhi had to maintain her public persona. So she couldn't afford to reveal any genuine emotions. We dabble in various sectors, primarily focusing on business investments, I answered vaguely. Indeed, there were too many fields to specify. So I spoke in generalities. However, to others, it seemed as though I was being deceptive and evasive. At that moment, the barrage of comments surged once more. What does Xia Rao have to compare with Bai Zhi? Someone just mentioned Bai Zhi's affluent background, and now Xia Rao claims she will return to inherit a fortune? It's ridiculous to joke like this. She simply cannot stand that Bai Zhi excels in everything. If she really has a billion-dollar inheritance, I'll eat dung live on stream. Disgusting. Unable to compete with Bai Zhi, she starts to flaunt and deceive, claiming her family is billions? Hilarious. Who would believe that? I felt a wave of anger as I read the comments. I wanted to explain, but the host interjected. Xia Rao is quite humorous and knows how to liven up our broadcast. Fans shouldn't take her too seriously. It appeared she was trying to rescue me. Yet in reality, she did not believe my words and publicly slapped my face. I'm being truthful, I said, exasperated. Next. We have a question from Bai Zhi's fans that they are particularly eager for me to ask you. The host did not afford me the opportunity to speak. They are very curious about how you maintain such flawless skin. Bai Zhi answered the host's inquiries one by one, and the atmosphere between them was quite amiable. Throughout the nearly half-hour interview, I was unable to utter another word. After the live broadcast concluded, everyone exited the studio. Bai Zhi's manager and assistant were waiting for her along with Song Kai, who presented her with an enormous bouquet of roses in front of all the staff. Their sweetness was truly enviable. I coldly walked past them, knowing that no one awaited me, a mere minor celebrity. However, my brother had just called to say he would pick me up, though he was stuck in traffic. I stood at the entrance, fully prepared, waiting for him. Xia Rao. You really don't need to compare yourself to Bai Zhi in every aspect, a familiar voice suddenly called from behind. I turned to see Song Kai, who had just been embracing Bai Zhi with affection. Song Kai and I are from the same agency, and he debuted 2 years before me. When I first met him, he was also an insignificant figure, with little work to his name. Upon my arrival at the agency, Song Kai claimed to have fallen head over heels for me. Initially, I rejected his advances. After much effort, I had convinced my family to allow me to pursue a career in the entertainment industry. And I did not want to jeopardize my career with a romantic relationship. However, I ultimately succumbed to his excessive attentiveness and agreed to date him. Yet, the company forbade artists, especially newcomers, from dating. We could only engage in underground work. During our secret relationship, Song Kai's career skyrocketed, but unbeknownst to him, most of his opportunities were secured through my family's connections. Particularly for the film that catapulted him to fame. My father became the investor to ensure he landed the leading role. Who would have thought that after achieving stardom, he would publicly announce his relationship with Bai Zhi, the female lead? Initially, he deceived me into believing it was merely for publicity until paparazzi caught him spending the night at Bai Zhi's home. At which point he confessed that he had hidden it from me to spare my feelings. In truth, I was well aware that Song Kai was primarily concerned that I might expose our relationship out of anger, as he had maintained a single persona and was afraid of ruining his newfound success. I harbored no vengeful thoughts, although I was indeed furious at the time. I realized that I had devoted the past 2 years to promoting him without considering my own interests. Admittedly, I entered the entertainment industry not primarily to gain fame, but to understand the market for future investment projects. Eventually, I would return home to inherit the family business. Thus, as an artist, I did not possess grand ambitions. However, that did not mean I should be the one to unconditionally accept Song Kai's betrayal. I had even refrained from disclosing my behind-the-scenes efforts on his behalf, so as not to burden him. Nevertheless, I ultimately chose to let go. After all, everything I did for Song Kai was out of my own volition, and I never expected anything in return. Moreover, life is long, and one cannot guarantee that they will not encounter 1 or 2 scoundrels. I would simply consider it a lesson learned. Most importantly, I intended to pursue a career in the entertainment industry, fostering goodwill and prosperity. And I did not wish to harbor animosity towards anyone. Thus, after being cheated on, I and Song Kai parted ways amicably. After our breakup, we had no further contact or interaction, even when frequently taunted by Song Kai's fans for supposedly clinging to him. I did not respond. Until today, when Song Kai took the initiative to speak to me, I regarded him with indifference. Since the day we parted, he had become utterly insignificant in my life. I know you've been uncomfortable with my relationship with Bai Zhi, which is why you feel the need to compare yourself to her at every turn, Song Kai said with an air of resignation. But someone like Bai Zhi, born with a silver spoon and favored by the heavens, who in the entire entertainment industry could possibly rival her, let alone someone with nothing like you? I found his words laughable. Bai Zhi was born with a silver spoon? I have nothing. He seemed unaware of how many times Bai Zhi had been subjected to unspoken rules to secure a role. He certainly did not know that my family's wealth could crush their little affair into oblivion. Don't blame me for being harsh. We once shared a romance, and I don't want to see you embarrassed. You must know how vicious the outside world can be towards you, Song Kai said, appearing to be genuinely concerned. Though being infamous is still a form of fame, one must maintain a semblance of dignity. You still have the gall to talk about dignity? I retorted. When you cheated on me, Did you ever consider picking up your own sense of pride? Song Kai's expression shifted dramatically. Anger coursed through him as he exclaimed, Xia Rao, do you have any idea how busy I am? Do you realize how packed my schedule is? I speak to you out of goodwill. Do you think I have nothing better to do than waste my time on you? Then do me a favor and get lost. Go as far away as you can. I'd prefer never to see you again. I shot back, equally irate. There was no need to extend any courtesy to such a scoundrel. Have you no self-awareness? Look at yourself. I reach out to you out of concern, and instead of gratitude, you respond with arrogance? I had intended to leverage my position in the industry to introduce you to opportunities, but since you are so ungrateful, forget it, Song Kai declared with an air of superiority. I merely scoffed. Who would be interested in his assistance? If I wanted opportunities or to walk through back doors, I certainly did not need him to facilitate that. I had no desire to continue this conversation with Song Kai. At that moment, my brother arrived in his Rolls-Royce to pick me up. I headed straight past Song Kai. Xia Rao. He suddenly blocked my path. His fury evident as I ignored him. No wonder you haven't made any progress in the entertainment industry after 5 years. Someone like you, lacking ambition, will never succeed in this field. No, not just in the entertainment industry. Nowhere will you thrive. Song Kai exclaimed furiously. At this moment, I am immensely grateful that I chose Bai Zhi instead of squandering my time with someone like you. Song Kai, do not speak so confidently. It is all too easy to be proven wrong. I retorted coldly. However, you are indeed correct. I am relieved that I did not waste too much time on you. You, Song Kai, infuriated, remarked sharply. Xia Rao, I shall be blunt. I am about to take on an S-level television drama. Seeing your career falter, I had intended to lend you a hand by introducing you to the director for the role of the third female lead. Humph, I scoffed, my face a mask of disdain. I truly do not covet that. Song Kai seemed poised to continue, but my patience had worn thin. Step aside. Good dogs do not block the way. I glared at him, and he ground his teeth in frustration. At that moment, he did not relent, as he evidently could not accept my indifference. He likely believed that, given his current success in the entertainment industry, I should behave like an eager sycophant. Just as during our breakup, he had assumed I would cling to him desperately. Little did he know, I was far more decisive than he anticipated. As we stood in a stalemate, Song Kai was suddenly shoved aside from behind by someone in a rather rough manner, nearly causing him to stumble. He turned, seething, to glare at his assailant. My brother, however, did not spare him a glance and merely inquired, Who is this person? A stray dog, I replied. Xia Rao. Song Kai shouted in exasperation. I warn you to stay away from Xia Rao, or I will ruin you. My brother wrapped an arm protectively around me, his voice cold and menacing. Song Kai glared at us, and at that moment, he could not help but notice the 2 towering bodyguards standing behind my brother, which silenced him. Moreover, as a public figure, he dared not stir up trouble. He could only grit his teeth as he watched my brother and me enter the sleek black Rolls-Royce and drive away. Later, seated in the car, Song Kai sent me a message. Our breakup had been rather clean, so we had not reached the point of blocking each other as contact. Xia Rao, I never expected you would succumb to such underhanded tactics. I had been plagued by guilt for you, yet it turns out I was merely indulging in my own sentiments. Even through the screen, I could sense the sourness emanating from him. I chose to ignore his messages, as I was currently discussing my retirement from the industry with my brother. Nevertheless, Song Kai was relentless, and his messages grew increasingly vitriolic. I never thought you would sink to such depths. Don't you feel ashamed of yourself? You cannot even compare with Bai Zhi, no matter how poorly she fares. She would never stoop to this. You have completely shattered the image I had of you. I once thought you were noble, but I clearly overestimated you. I was irritated by the barrage of messages, and unable to endure it any longer. I replied, If you are not afraid of me sharing our conversation with the media, then kindly keep quiet. My words effectively silenced him. I let out a cold laugh, finding it truly ironic. For Song Kai, his career was of utmost importance. His choice of Bai Zhi was likely driven by vanity and a desire for popularity. Of course, I held no expectations for him. I had long since seen through the kind of person he was. After dismissing Song Kai, I received a call from my agent. Where are you? She asked coldly. On my way home. What nonsense did you spout during the live interview today? What gives you the right to compare yourself to Bai Zhi? My agent launched into a tirade. Do you realize you are trending for all the wrong reasons? I warned you long ago. Our company does not need artists who are infamous for their scandals. Are you trying to force the company to abandon you? Then let them abandon me, I replied, having already decided to terminate my contract. Moreover, the company had never truly supported me. What? Are you threatening me now? My agent's voice rose in pitch. Do you remember why I signed you in the first place? If I had signed Bai Zhi instead of you, we would have been rolling in money by now. So, who can you blame for that? Blame your own poor judgment. I mocked. Enough, Xia Rao. I do not wish to waste any more breath on you. You need to return to the company immediately and record an apology video for the public. Claiming you were merely joking to lighten the mood during the live stream, I was not joking. I enunciated each word clearly, so. Your family truly has a fortune, my agent mocked. If your family is so wealthy, why have they not invested in your career? If they have money, how have you managed to remain in such dire straits for all these years? Given my current predicament, shouldn't my agent reflect on her own shortcomings? You, my agent, stung by my retort, faltered. I do not want to argue with you. You are to return and record that video at once. I will not record it, Xia Rao. Have you lost your mind? You dare refuse the company S directives? Do you not realize they could shelve you at any moment? There is no need for such theatrics. Simply terminate my contract. I replied coldly. Terminate? Do you think you can just walk away? You have over half a year left on your contract. Do you think you can afford the penalty for early termination? That is none of your concern. I had no desire to engage in further dialogue. I will come to the company tomorrow, I stated before hanging up, promptly shutting off my phone. My brother observed my series of actions and asked with a smile, have you finally found the entertainment industry unappealing? I have long found it tiresome. I merely lingered a bit longer to assess the market. Do you need me to accompany you for the contract termination tomorrow? No need. You are indeed my sibling. Born with an inherent boldness, my brother praised. The following morning, I arrived at the agency. The news of my claim to inherit a billion-dollar fortune from the previous day's live stream was still trending at the top. The comments flooded in, uniformly lambasting me for my shamelessness. My few remaining fans had also turned against me, declaring they would no longer support a liar. I was indifferent, as I was planning to retire anyway. Upon reaching the company, I found my agent waiting with a sullen expression, and Song Kai was also there. He wore a smirk that was half amusement and half mockery, clearly relishing the opportunity to witness my downfall. Truly, a small-minded individual reveling in his triumph. So, the illustrious Miss Xia has deigned to visit the company herself, my agent taunted. Upon hearing her words, other staff members and artists could not help but snicker. I am here to terminate my contract, I stated, my demeanor unyielding and expression cold. Very well, my agent replied nonchalantly. Producing my contract, according to the terms, should an artist breach the contract prematurely, they must pay a penalty of 30 million. My brow furrowed slightly, not from shock at the figure, but from the realization that I should not owe this much. As a competent businessperson, how could I let myself be taken advantage of? I reached for the contract and scrutinized it closely. Seeing my expression, my agent began to mock me further. What is this? I thought you claimed to possess a billion-dollar fortune? Surely you can come up with a mere 30 million? But truthfully, Xia Rao, after 5 years in this industry, have you even earned 30 million? Not even close to 3 million. Convinced I could not pay the sum, she continued to prattle on. Stop pretending. With 10 months left on your contract, if you behave yourself, the company might consider renewing it. Otherwise, given your current market value, no agency would dare to sign you. With a sharp sound, I slammed the contract down in front of my agent, startling her. She stared at me, bewildered, and shouted, "What are you doing?" It is clearly stated here that if the contract is terminated less than a year before expiration, the penalty is only 60%, meaning I only need to pay 18 million. Do you really think you can come up with 18 million? That's laughable. Swipe it. I withdrew a black card and placed it before her. My agent stared at me in disbelief. 18 million. And we shall part ways without further entanglements. Where did you acquire such funds? My agent asked, eyeing my card suspiciously. After all, I had not made much in the industry. Where else could the money come from? I have a benefactor backing me. Song Kai casually remarked. Yesterday, when I went to pick up Bai Zhi, I happened to see her getting into a fully equipped, limited edition Rolls Royce. Xia Rao. You really are something. The agent erupted in fury. I initially asked you to attend a drinking party, and you were utterly unwilling. Now, having latched onto a big shot, you turn your back on everyone, don't you? This is my family's money, I retorted, utterly speechless. You want to play the harlot while simultaneously maintaining your virtue? If you had listened to me back then, you wouldn't be in this predicament now, yet here you are, still choosing this path. The agent's disdain grew with every word. I wasted 5 years on you for nothing. Wasted 5 years on me? I raised my voice, no longer willing to indulge her. Ever since I rejected the unspoken rules, you have completely neglected me. The few jobs I secured in these 5 years were all through my own efforts. How dare you claim I wasted your time? If anyone should feel wasteful, it's me. Xia Rao. The agent shrieked. In front of so many people at the company, I showed her no mercy. Don't you think that just because you have a financial backer, you can run rampant in the entertainment circle? I've been in this industry for 20 years. I can blacklist anyone with ease. The agent threatened me loudly. Then, let us wait and see. I replied with a laugh. The capital tycoon she is currently fawning over is my own father. Should I be intimidated by her? I terminated my contract with the agency and walked away. Once again, Song Kai confronted me at the door. I couldn't fathom how thick-skinned a person could be to appear before me so brazenly. Xia Rao. Do you intend to offend everyone in the entertainment circle? Song Kai sneered. You've offended me, Bai Zhi, and your agency. So you've attached yourself to the Gu family's young master? But if I recall correctly, the Gu young master is married. The Gu young master he referred to is my brother. Xia Rao is my stage name. My real name is Gu Rao. I adopted my mother's surname primarily to avoid unnecessary troubles in the entertainment industry. Didn't he expect me to find out, did you? Song Kai, seeing my silence, smugly continued, only the Gu family and the entire Rongqing possesses that limited edition Rolls-Royce. And then, I remained nonchalant. Once you are exposed, do you think the Gu young master would choose you over his legitimate wife? I would. I stated unequivocally. Xia Rao, you truly overestimate yourself. Do you think your looks grant you immunity? The world of the affluent is far more complex than you imagine. How do you know what the affluent think? Bai Zhi comes from a wealthy background. I certainly know. She comes from a wealthy background. I couldn't help but laugh. Has she ever taken you to her affluent world? We aren't at the stage of discussing marriage yet, Song Kai offered as an excuse. Now the whole internet knows how well you two get along. With things being like this, you haven't met Bai Zhi's parents. Bai Zhi's parents are so busy. Do you think everyone is like you? Idle and unoccupied. Don't you think you're deceiving yourself? Song Kai, you and Bai Zhi have been together for 3 years, not 3 days. No matter how busy one is, can they not find a day or half a day in 3 years? My sarcasm grew sharper. My relationship with Bai Zhi is none of your concern. Song Kai was visibly angered. Similarly, my matters are not for you to meddle in. I'm doing this for your own good. Song Kai exclaimed angrily, not interested. If you have that much free time, you might as well focus your energy on Bai Zhi. Perhaps you might achieve unexpected results. What do you mean? Song Kai clearly grasped my insinuation. Figure it out for yourself. I'll tell you, Xia Rao, no matter how hard you try, you will never compare to Bai Zhi. Just her background is beyond your reach. I smiled coldly. I hadn't thought about flaunting my background until this moment. Now, I was rather curious to see the expression on Song Kai's face once he learned I am the daughter of a billionaire. Let us wait and see, I remarked, leaving Song Kai behind. Words alone would not convince him. He would soon be proven wrong. My termination with the agency once again surged to the trending topics. The comment section overflowed with scathing remarks. Didn't she inherit billions? Yet, because of her audacity, she was dropped by her agency? This is undoubtedly the biggest joke of 2023. I was waiting for Xia Rao to turn the tide, but I overestimated her. Some individuals are far too vain. The entertainment industry should not foster this negative trend. Previously, she rode on Song Yingdi's coattails, gaining some recognition. Otherwise, who would know her an insignificant figure? Now, she tries to ride on Bai Zhi's coattails, only to crash and burn. Truly deserving. Meanwhile, Bai Zhi and Song Kai were hosting a New Year live stream for their fans. My trending topic unexpectedly brought a wave of traffic to their stream. The comments urged Bai Zhi and Song Kai to address my supposed inheritance and subsequent termination. Song Kai was the first to respond. Xia Rao and I are under the same agency and share the same agent. Regarding her termination, there may have been a misunderstanding. Xia Rao voluntarily requested to leave the company. They did not treat her poorly. What? Xia Rao actually dared to terminate her contract? Who would sign her now? Artists who terminate contracts voluntarily should pay a penalty, right? Does she have the money for a penalty? As for the rest, I'm not entirely sure. I just wanted to share what I know. I hope everyone doesn't spread misinformation. Song Kai reassured the agitated fans. However, the fans were not listening. The comments continued to scroll. Is Xia Rao backed by a financier? Otherwise, where would she get the money for a penalty? Forget about the penalty. What standing does she have to terminate her contract? With her reputation, who would dare to employ her? Thanks to Song Kai's words, news of Xia Rao paying a hefty penalty, allegedly with a backer, once again surged to the trending list. I never anticipated that, after withdrawing from the industry, I would become so popular. At that moment, Bai Zhi responded to my situation during her live stream. Xia Rao and I debuted together. We have collaborated a few times, but we were only acquaintances, so I'm not aware of her family circumstances. However, since she claims her family has billions, I find that hard to dismiss. As soon as Bai Zhi made the statement, the comments were filled with praise. Bai Zhi's character is truly admirable. Everyone knows Xia Rao is a fake heiress, yet she is still willing to believe her. Bai Zhi doesn't find the wealthy background strange because she comes from one herself. Why is there such a vast difference between people? I'm proud of my idol. Bai Zhi, could you show us what the affluent life looks like? Can we have a live tour of your luxurious home? That last comment was inundated with responses. Bai Zhi was desperately trying to change the subject, seemingly ignoring the comments. At that moment, Song Kai suddenly spoke up. Zhi, why not fulfill the fans' New Year wish? Bai Zhi, caught off guard by Song Kai's bluntness, could no longer pretend to be oblivious. She smiled and said, of course. I'll fulfill the fans' New Year wish. Once the time is confirmed, I'll take them to tour my home. Bai Zhi is so good to her fans. Being a fan of Bai Zhi is pure bliss. Looking forward to touring Bai Zhi's new home. I watched Bai Zhi's awkward smile. The Bai family in Rongqing has never had a daughter named Bai Zhi, only a cousin named Bai Hua. I am quite curious to see how she will cover up this monumental lie. After their live stream concluded, I surged to the trending topics once again, and Bai Zhi's promise to show her mansion also topped the charts. The entire internet was eagerly anticipating a tour of Bai Zhi's luxurious home. Meanwhile, due to my sudden fame, several agencies reached out to me, offering work, which I declined. I have now taken over the family business and become a prominent figure in the entertainment industry, investing in several highly popular shows, leaving me perpetually occupied. Almost forgotten was the fact that Bai Zhi was scheduled to livestream a tour of her luxurious mansion. Had it not been for Song Kai's triumphant message to me, Xia Rao, haven't you always been envious of Bai Zhi and even sought to slander her? She will be live streaming her mansion at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Aren't you curious to take a look? I would have brushed it aside. Bai Zhi certainly has the audacity. I thought she might find a way to evade the situation, but less than half a month later, she was indeed going to live stream? Was she not afraid of a potential scandal? Thank you for the reminder. I will watch it on time, I replied to Song Kai. As he insisted on challenging me, I decided to play along. I quickly sent a message to my cousin. Could it be that your father truly has an illegitimate daughter? What a ridiculous joke. I have tolerated that woman Bai Zhi for long enough. Today, I'll see what kind of tricks she is up to. If she provokes me, I'll tear her apart right then and there. Even through the screen, one could sense Bai Hua's fury. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Bai Zhi indeed appeared as promised in the live stream, giving fans a tour of her mansion. It was quite a facade. This was hardly the Bai residence. It looked more like a third-rate villa in an obscure location. As soon as the live stream commenced, fans began to shower her with mindless praise. Wow. Bai Zhi's home is so big and beautiful. No wonder the Bai family ranks among the top 3 on the wealth list of Rongqing. They are extravagantly affluent. Bai Zhi truly was born into privilege. This reminds me of a certain unknown female artist who claimed to inherit a fortune worth billions. I continued working while watching Bai Zhi's live stream, finding it increasingly amusing as her fans lavished her with compliments. Bai Zhi was quite dedicated, guiding her fans through her luxurious abode. The fans were equally supportive, showering her with lavish gifts in the live stream. Bai Zhi, ever considerate, urged everyone not to send gifts, feigning helplessness about how to turn off the gifting feature, which only incited a frenzy among her fans. Suddenly, my phone rang. It was Song Kai. He arrogantly said, Xia Rao, do you finally see the disparity between you and Bai Zhi? Her mansion is something you can only dream of in this lifetime. You're not still hung up on me, are you? I could hardly muster the patience for him. Am I infatuated with you? Just look at the vast difference between you and Bai Zhi. Am I blind? Then why do you keep clinging to me? I pity you. There's no need for that. I glanced at the live stream. You should go and pity your goddess Bai Zhi instead. After all, Things were starting to turn tumultuous in the live stream. Song Kai seemed to sense this and quickly hung up. In Bai Zhi's live stream, dissent arose. This is not the Bai family's mansion in Rongqing at all, and no one in the Bai family is named Bai Zhi. How dare you question my idol? The diehard fans began to fervently counter the claims. Perhaps Bai Zhi is merely a stage name. Don't pretend to be knowledgeable if you don't understand. You just want to ride on our idol's coattails, so scram. Shortly after, someone claiming to be the genuine heiress of the Bai family released a video asserting that the Bai family bore no relation to Bai Zhi, urging everyone to search for Miss Bai of Rongqing. The live stream became chaotic, and the comment section erupted in a cacophony of disputes. Bai Zhi hastily ended the live stream halfway through. Soon after, news broke that Bai Zhi had allegedly falsified her identity, impersonating a wealthy heiress, trending on social media. It was revealed that the villa Bai Zhi showcased in her live stream had been visited by numerous influencers and was, in fact, a property available for rent. Subsequently, many bloggers claiming to know the true heiress of the Rongqing Bai family began to debunk Bai Zhi, stating that the sole heiress was Bai Hua, known on social media as Miss Bai of Rongqing, and had no connection to Bai Zhi whatsoever. They also uncovered Bai Zhi's actual background, revealing her parents were ordinary workers and her family lived in poverty. Yet, despite this revelation, countless mindless fans fervently defended Bai Zhi, insisting she was the true heiress of the Bai family and that others were merely trying to ride on her coattails. They even went to Bai Hua's comment section to hurl insults. Bai Hua promptly issued a lawyer's letter, demanding that Bai Zhi either clarify her claims or face court proceedings. The situation escalated dramatically. Under duress, Bai Zhi held a press conference, tearfully declaring that she had never known anything about the Rongqing Bai family. Nor had she ever claimed to belong to a wealthy family. She only wished to satisfy her fans' desire to see luxury. This statement only served to cement the fact that she had no ties to the Bai family, inciting further outrage among fans. Bai Zhi had never denied her connection to the Bai family before, yet now she feigned ignorance. Fans were not oblivious to her deceit, and she rapidly lost countless followers. As if things couldn't get worse, allegations surfaced that Bai Zhi had risen to fame through unscrupulous means. The entertainment industry is indeed ruthless. When one is in the limelight, everyone sings their praises, but once they fall from grace, countless individuals are eager to take them down. It is no surprise that so many targeted Bai Zhi. She had gained notoriety for snatching roles from others. I had also been a victim of her underhanded tactics. The first role that brought her fame was originally meant for me. Unbeknownst to me, she had clandestinely taken special routes to secure it. And I was not the only one. Many within the industry suffered similarly. However, because everyone believed Bai Zhi was the heiress of the Rongqing Bai family, they were intimidated by the power of capital and refrained from confronting her directly. Initially, I was solely focused on promoting Song Kai, and after discovering she had taken my role, I chose not to confront her. Yet, karma eventually caught up with Bai Zhi, and she faced the repercussions she deserved. 1 week after Bai Zhi's downfall, Song Kai's agency publicly announced his breakup with Bai Zhi. The news divided public opinion regarding Song Kai. Loyal fans praised him for maintaining his principles and distancing himself from subpar artists, while many others viewed him as disloyal, claiming he turned his back on Bai Zhi the moment trouble arose. Song Kai's reputation was hardly commendable. Just as his crisis management was faltering, Bai Zhi unexpectedly went live, accusing Song Kai of being cold-hearted and even disclosing the fact that he had once dated me. In her live stream, Bai Zhi launched into a tirade against Song Kai, labeling him a vain little man who, in his pursuit of a more famous partner, callously discarded me, who had quietly stood by his side. She claimed that once, when he was drunk, he confessed that he initially pursued me because I carried a Hermes bag, mistakenly believing I was wealthy, only to discover later that I was destitute. Now that she had fallen from grace, Song Kai had revealed his true colors, turning his back on her and pushing her into the abyss. She spoke with righteous indignation. Though no one felt sympathy for her, as all her misfortunes were of her own making, she had indeed dragged Song Kai down with her. Immediately, he called me in a panic, urgently stating, "Xia Rao, you need to publicly declare that we never dated, and I'll give you 5 million. I refuse." Without hesitation, I turned him down. I had no desire to engage in a feud with Song Kai, as I deemed it unnecessary to waste my energy. Dealing with the scoundrel was hardly worth my efforts. I would rather invest that time in acquiring knowledge and bettering myself. However, this did not mean I would turn down a chance to benefit from their conflict. Watching their mutual destruction brought me great satisfaction. "What's your offer? How much do you want?" Song Kai gritted his teeth. Had I known it would come to this, I would have acted differently from the start. Song Kai. Before Bai Zhi turned on you, didn't she approach you? What? Did you refuse her terms? It was evident that Bai Zhi and Song Kai had reached an impasse, leading to this situation. That woman has lost her mind. She actually demanded 50 million. What gives her the right to think a woman with such a tarnished reputation is worth that much? Song Kai shouted in fury. So, his stinginess was to blame. 1 million, and you just say we never dated. Song Kai insisted vehemently. I refuse. I declined yet again. Xia Rao, don't be ungrateful. 1 million is a staggering sum for you. Don't end up like Bai Zhi, left with nothing. It's best for you to take the deal while you can. Song Kai had the audacity to threaten me at that moment. Let us see who shall ultimately be left with naught. I hung up the phone decisively and proceeded to block Song Kai. Keeping his contact information was nothing short of a disgrace. I had anticipated that Song Kai would also face downfall alongside me. To my astonishment, however, the very next morning, it was I who found myself trending on social media. The trending topic was the speculation surrounding the affluent benefactor behind Xia Rao, with photographs of my brother embracing me as I entered his car circulating in the news. Given the angle, it was evident that Song Kai had taken that shot on that fateful day. This meant that the news had been leaked by Song Kai himself, a calculated move to overshadow his own negative press using my incident, a common public relations tactic in the entertainment industry. Truly, Song Kai had a penchant for self-sabotage. My brother was infuriated. Rao, what are you enduring? When people accused you of falsely claiming to be a wealthy heiress, Dad suggested revealing your true identity. But you insisted on staying low-key. Now they have the audacity to trample over us, and you still tolerate it. In truth, I was not merely tolerating. I desired to focus wholeheartedly on my career. Once my career flourished, my identity would inevitably surface, without any unnecessary displays. However, Song Kai had genuinely crossed my boundaries. No more tolerance. I intend to ensure that Song Kai faces a humiliating downfall. As soon as my trending news about having a benefactor emerged, Song Kai's agency swiftly purchased another favorable trending topic. Song Kai's impending collaboration with director Wu on the highly anticipated annual production, the television drama War Year, was set to premiere next year. They were evidently investing heavily to protect Song Kai, employing every means to divert public attention. Yet, if my memory served me correctly, the lead role in that drama had not even been confirmed. Song Kai's agency had always believed in his formidable competitiveness, assuming it was nearly a done deal. Little did they know, I was the behind-the-scenes investor of that production. I had never contemplated casting Song Kai, and in fact, I had blacklisted all the artists from my previous agency. Now, it was time for my counterattack. Using my verified account, I commented beneath the trending topic released by Song Kai's agency. The lead role for this drama has not yet been determined. I kindly ask your company to refrain from spreading unfounded narratives. My comment instantly drew a barrage of backlash from fans. Are you joking? Are you trying to ride on our brother's fame? It's laughable a no-name actor boldly makes such claims. You seem to have forgotten they have a benefactor now. So they have the audacity. Such attention-seeking behavior is utterly revolting. Having blocked Song Kai, he was unable to call me, and his manager reached out, launching into a tirade. Xia Rao, have you lost your mind? Since when does Song Kai's work become your concern? Are you regretting the contract termination and seeking attention? Before I could respond, Song Kai snatched the phone and yelled at me. Are you regretting not clarifying things for me now? I warned you to know when to quit while you were ahead. You deserve to lose that 10 million. How about this? The manager interjected. You delete your comment and clarify that you and Song Kai were never in a relationship, and in a spirit of humanitarianism, I will offer you 5 million. Save it for your precious Song Kai's trending topics. Xia Rao, don't be ungrateful. I hung up the phone without hesitation. Meanwhile, beneath my comment, the official account of the drama production team liked my post and commented, the male lead for this production is indeed not yet determined, and we will not consider collaborating with Song Kai. Upon this comment's release, the comment section erupted. What's going on? Didn't they say it was already secured? A last-minute change? The production team liked Xia Rao's comment and voiced their support for her? Who does she think she is? Could it be that the benefactor behind Xia Rao is truly young Master Gu? A petty person gaining an advantage? Are you deliberately retaliating against our brother by denying him his role? After I began to respond, my family could no longer remain silent. The official account of Gu Corporation commented in my section, Xia Rao, born Gu Rao. is the legitimate heir of Xia Corporation and is currently responsible for investment projects in the entertainment industry under Gu Corporation, serving as the producer of War Year. Shortly thereafter, my brother commented, "Sister, I told you to come home and take over the family business. What is so enjoyable about the entertainment industry?" Bai Hua also chimed in, "Cousin, they say actors are heartless. You should quickly distance yourself from them and return to our embrace." The term actors was clearly a jab at Bai Zhi and Song Kai. The comment section went wild. Goodness, Xia Rao truly has a fortune to inherit. We all misunderstood Xia Rao. She genuinely hails from a wealthy family, while Bai Zhi is the one spinning lies. Looking back at that live interview, it's clear now that the host and Bai Zhi are nothing but a joke. How dare they mock Xia Rao? If Song Kai really abandoned Xia Rao for Bai Zhi, then everything he is enduring now is poetic justice. Whoever claimed Xia Rao would eat dung live if she had a billion-dollar inheritance can now come forward and eat dung. My reputation experienced a dramatic reversal. Shocking. Xia Rao truly has a billion-dollar inheritance to claim. Xia Rao is the capital mogul of the entertainment industry. Has Song Kai's face been thoroughly slapped? Having picked up a sesame seed, he lost a watermelon. It is now clear that War Year will not collaborate with Song Kai. His agency may face substantial compensation for defamation. The trending topics painted a stark contrast between my reputation and Song Kai's, whose character had crumbled entirely. With Bai Zhi's explosive revelations during her live stream and my debunking of his role rumors, he had become a laughingstock in the industry. Mocked for having seized a treasure only to find himself with nothing in the end, while attracting a world of trouble. For an extended period, neither Song Kai nor his agency issued any response. His career suffered a severe halt. Finally, unable to hold back, Song Kai sought me out. Arriving at my company accompanied by his manager, the tides of fortune had indeed turned. I was suddenly reminded of the last time I terminated a contract. Rao. I'm sorry. Song Kai's eyes were red, and he appeared on the verge of tears. It was laughable. Did he truly believe I had not been in the entertainment industry long enough to recognize the tears of an actor? You are right. I have been persistently clinging to you out of unresolved feelings. My relationship with Bai Zhi was a result of her seduction. I was left with no choice but to break up with you. Song Kai looked at me with tear-filled eyes. Can you ever forgive me?
No forgiveness.
I replied without a moment's hesitation.
Thou.
I swear, I will be devoted to you from now on. Please give me another chance. Can we start anew? Song Kai expressed earnestly. I can testify that Song Kai and Bai Zhi were indeed together because Bai Zhi played tricks. Rao. You must believe Song Kai just this once. His manager interjected. I couldn't help but laugh. What kind of character do you have to dare to testify? Do you genuinely think I am unaware that it was your idea to have Song Kai and Bai Zhi create a public relationship? Yes, it was her. Song Kai quickly shifted the blame. It takes two to tango. How could she have succeeded without your consent? I replied incredulously. She threatened me. If I didn't date Bai Zhi, she would halt all my work. Coupled with Bai Zhi's schemes, I was left with no option but to be with her. Rao. Believe me. Song Kai desperately pleaded. The manager's expression darkened. It seemed she hadn't anticipated that Song Kai would betray her to gain my forgiveness.
Thou.
I truly had no control over the situation. Song Kai insisted passionately. If you dislike my remaining with the agency, I can terminate my contract immediately. I will be by your side. Will you be my manager? Song Kai, you cannot be so ungrateful. The manager was furious. During this time, she had nearly clashed with the agency to protect Song Kai, having spent an exorbitant amount of resources, and now he was indeed burning bridges. I have earned you quite a bit of money over the years. Our accounts are settled. Moreover, I have long been dissatisfied with your methods, especially regarding Xia Rao. I had already decided not to renew my contract with you after its expiration. The manager was so enraged, she could hardly articulate her thoughts. Song Kai was utterly indifferent, gazing at me with profound affection. Rao, for you, I would truly do anything. Really? I asked him with a smile. Song Kai nodded fervently, believing I would relent. Then just go far away and never show your face before me again. I articulated each word with clarity. Song Kai's expression faltered immediately. Xia Rao, what must I do for you to forgive me? On what grounds do you assume that anything you do will earn my forgiveness? I found it quite laughable. Stop pretending. We have been apart for 3 years, and you have not dated anyone. Are you not simply waiting for me to change my mind? Song Kai shamelessly asserted. I was truly exasperated. My lack of romantic involvement had nothing to do with him. It was merely a matter of not encountering the right person. How utterly lacking in shame could one be to utter such repulsive words? Rao Rao, Song Kai. Noticing my silence, assumed I was struck by his words and grew bolder, attempting to grasp my hand. I swiftly evaded him.
Ah.
Song Kai suddenly shrieked, for his hand had been seized by someone else, with a grip so forceful that I could almost hear the sound of bones colliding. You, let go of me! Song Kai exclaimed, his face flushed with anger as he regarded the person before him. Lu Yan forcefully shoved Song Kai away.
Who are you?
Song Kai seethed with fury. Rao Rao's fiancé, Lu Yan declared, standing by my side to assert his dominance. Song Kai's eyes widened in disbelief. My fiancé, Lu Yan, the heir of the Lu Corporation. We are well matched and will marry by the end of the year, I said to Song Kai with a tone of biting sarcasm.
So,
do you still believe I am waiting for you to change your mind? Song Kai's face flickered between red and white at my words. Better to be single than to settle. Do you think everyone is as impatient as you? I continued my mockery.
Xia Rao.
If you had not concealed your family background from me, we would not have reached this point. Song Kai retorted, flustered. You who are so enamored with vanity.
How dare you blame me?
I found it utterly ironic. I tried to protect your pride, and yet you show no gratitude and bite back instead. Do you think you were favored by capital solely due to your own merits? I was the one helping you behind the scenes. Without clarifying, he had the audacity to take liberties.
What?
Song Kai fell silent, while his agent looked astonished. Did he not say he secured everything himself? He claimed capital only recognized him. I scoffed dismissively. The agent, seasoned in the entertainment industry, quickly sensed the discrepancy. Song Kai felt the threat looming and hastily asserted, my success was solely due to my talent. Capital was merely a platform. Setting aside whether you could have succeeded without that platform, now that you've fallen from grace. If capital ceases to support you, your chances of recovery are utterly fanciful. The agent, devoid of any semblance of sympathy, declared sternly. Not only will you not re-sign with me, but I also won't sign you again. With that, the agent departed, having grasped the harsh reality. There was no chance of reconciliation with Song Kai, who had not only offended me but also fallen into utter disgrace, remaining ungrateful, beyond redemption. Seeing the agent leave, Song Kai grew anxious. He gritted his teeth and turned back to say something to me, but Lu Yan stepped protectively in front of me, exuding possessiveness. Xia Rao, if you continue to act this way despite everything I have done, there will be no future for us. Song Kai attempted to threaten me. Farewell, and do take care. I replied with chilling indifference. Song Kai stormed away in anger. What do you see in him? Lu Yan asked, perplexed. Blindness, I replied, now recalling my past with Song Kai as if I had ingested something foul. But I have been healed now, I added. Lu Yan smiled. I had to admit, in terms of height, appearance, temperament, and character, Lu Yan was in a league of his own, far surpassing Song Kai. I felt a flicker of gratitude. Had Song Kai not been a scoundrel, I might never have encountered Lu Yan. Later, Song Kai continued to seek me out, initially with a hint of arrogance, but gradually sinking to the depths of humility. I heard that his agency had terminated his contract, leaving him without work and facing hefty compensation fees. I, of course, felt no compassion. The consequences he faced were entirely of his own making. I was under no obligation to shoulder his burdens. Eventually, as Song Kai recognized my indifference, he ceased to pretend. He threatened me with unflattering photographs, demanding $1 billion for their silence. Truly, a dog cannot change its ways. Even at this juncture, he had learned nothing. Without hesitation, I exposed our chat logs and recorded conversations to the media and filed a report with the police. Finally, the farce surrounding Song Kai came to an end. In return, he faced utter ruin, a tarnished reputation, and complete estrangement from the entertainment industry. By year's end, Lu Yan and I held our wedding as promised. The union of a wealthy family as princess and the heir of the Lu Corporation became a trending topic. Alongside this, news of Song Kai, who had reportedly collapsed in a restroom, earned him the title of the most tragic figure of the year. Song Kai had become a washed-up celebrity, reduced to performing in rural venues, while I received an outpouring of blessings and gained numerous fans. Song Kai was ridiculed across the internet, utterly humiliated. When fans commented, asking if I was satisfied with Song Kai's current fate, I responded that I had never sought revenge against him. Everything I had done was merely to defend my life and safeguard my happiness. As for his present circumstances, I replied in the comments, all that has passed is merely transient. There is no need to waste life on those unworthy of it. The true beauty of life lies in maintaining faith and courage in love, blossoming towards the sun. I will forever believe that time will smile upon us. The future holds promise. End of the text. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like to support us.
Until we meet again in the next story.